Hi everyone, it's nice to see you again. I'm Grace, and today I'll be taking you through a tour through Whova, our 2025 conference software. After you register to our conference, we will give you a link to access the Whova web app, which you can open through your laptop or any other desktop devices. If you have used Whova before for any other events, including our previous conferences, that means you already have a Whova account, and all you need to do here is to enter your email and password. Please remember to use the same email address that you use for your registration to the conference. If Whova is new to you, you need to do the sign up process by clicking here. All the difference between sign up and sign in is you will need to enter your name, and you will have to make a new password to be able to get into your account. In this case, since I already have a Whova account, I will have to add my email and the password. I hope I remember this correctly. And click on the verification button that says I'm not a robot and sign in. Now after this process, you will need to access your email to get the verification code from Whova. This code will be expiring in 10 minutes, so it's better to do your sign-in process while also opening your inbox. After you get your code and enter it here, click on verify, and you should be able to log into the event successfully. Now this is what a Whova homepage would look like, and this is the first thing you see after your sign-in process. If you pay attention to the top right corner with your name here, in this case it's my name, you can click it and access your profile, which we will encourage you to add your personal information in. And you can also choose to log out from your account, but we're not going to do that just now. And then we can see here there's the event logo and the location. If you click on here, you can see the map of the on-site venue. There's the date of the event. And over here, you can see a moving banner of the sponsors to our event. So they will be rotating every 5 seconds. At this point, we have APCDA Journal, and we also have Kenobi. You can also see that the screen here is split into 3 parts, so let's get to it one by one. In the left part is all the features or all the menus we have in Whova. So by clicking one by one, you can see the different things that you can do inside Whova, starting from the homepage, the agenda, attendees, and so on. At the center is where the event information is. So you can see here there's a beautiful banner created by organizers, the description, and another space for sponsors. And in the right side is more like a social part of the conference in which you can see the activities that other people do in the conference. So the first thing you will see is a welcome message from organizers. You can also see what other people are doing. For example, here we have Alan saying hello and filling in the icebreaker, and so on. So you won't be missing out on whatever other people are doing because you can see it here. Now let's take a look at the first feature we have, which is agenda. This is where we will see all the event schedules and all the sessions that we have in the conference. And as you can see here, you can filter it by tracks because during the first week, we have 6 simultaneous sessions, and you can choose which track you want to watch. This year is a little bit special because we have a track for Chinese presentations, which is in track 5. You can also do a quick search by the session name, location, or speaker's name in the search bar over here. Under the search bar, you can see there are 3 tabs here. First one is full agenda, which is basically everything that's happening in the conference. My agenda, which will be filled by personalized items that you add to your personal agenda. By adding a session to your agenda, this means that you can get notifications from Whova whenever that session is going to start. And then there's rehearsal sessions, which is specifically prepared for presenters and conference staff to rehearse their sessions and do a dry run before the actual conference begins. And then you can see here there are dates, which means you can move around days. Since our event is a 2-week event, you can look around for sessions in different days, like May 16, which is the virtual part, and then beginning in May 23rd and so on is the plenary part or the in-person part of the conference, which will be happening hybrid in Zhengzhou University and also in Whova for all the remote attendees. Now let's look at each session specifically. As you can see here, there's a button that says Add to my agenda, which I also previously mentioned before. If you click on it, you will get notifications from Whova when the session is about to start, or you can also add this to your Google Calendar, Outlook, or even Apple Calendar if you prefer. Now to join the session, all you need to do is click on this specific title, or you can also click on View Details. And this is what you will see when you join a session. Now, if you notice, the left part or the left bar of the screen has not changed. It still contains the features we have in Whova. But be mindful that if you accidentally click on any of these menus, you will be quitting the current session you're joining. At the center, you can see this kind of like a black box area, which will be where the session is happening. So this is where the speakers and their presentation handouts will be shown. If you scroll down, you can see the title, the track, dates, and other details. And you can also decide to like a session, take notes, or rate sessions. By clicking on this button that says Rate Session, you will be accessing the session feedback survey, in which we would ask you questions about feedback to the session you just attended. If you're a speaker or if you're a presenter, you can also share your talk, and Whova will provide graphics for you to share in LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, or you can download it and upload it into other social medias as well. If you have handouts, or if the session has handouts, you can also find it in here in the description of the session. On the right side of the screen, you can see a lot of engagement tools. Now, the first three, which is Q&A, polls, and chat, are specific to the session, while the last one, the fourth, the community, is actually like social groups that is not related to the specific session you're watching. Now, for the Q&A tab, this is where we expect people to post their questions if they have some during the presentation. So all you need to do is click on here, insert your question, and click Submit once you're done. If the presenters have some polls for you, you can also check them on here and click Answer this poll, pick your answer, and click Submit. The chat box is also useful for you if you want to greet other attendees or if you want to add comments to the current presentation you're watching. Now let's look at what joining a session looks like. So it will probably look like this whenever you click a session, so please just click Proceed anyway. And choose Join in Whova so that you don't lose any of the features that I've just explained to you. As you can see, joining a session in Whova looks very similar to joining a meeting in Zoom. If this is the first time you used Whova in your browser, you might find that a pop-up notification from your browser to ask permission for the browser to be able to access your mic and also your camera so that you can join the audio and also start your video while joining a session in Whova. So if those pop-up comes up to your screen, don't forget to allow it so that you can optimally join a session in the conference. You can also choose how you would view the session. You could use a speaker view. If you use a speaker view, this will only highlight one video at a time, and the person speaking is the one who would get the spotlight. But if you choose gallery view, you can view more videos, more people at the same time. You can also choose a full screen view, but be mindful that if you choose this one, you might be able to see the slides bigger, but you cannot see the chats, you cannot see the Q&A, and you cannot see the polls. If you want to quit this, you can click here and exit full screen, and you will go back to the first display. Now, if you notice, there's a button up here that says Show Agenda. And what that does is viewing all the other sessions that's also happening at the same time. Now, if you click on Show Agenda, it will make the screen or the session that you're watching even smaller. So this might not be optimal if you wanted to focus on the presentation. But in case you wanted to move to other rooms, this is what you can do. You can show agenda and you can pick other sessions. For example, I wanted to move to room 3. And what that does is it automatically quits the first session you're watching and it moves you to the next session. So that also means that while you're joining a session in Whova, you can only join one session at a time. You cannot watch two in the same account. The next menu we're going to explore together is attendees. This feature is basically where the networking in the conference is going to happen. And as you can see in attendees, we also have 4 tabs. All is basically listing everyone, and this is listed based on alphabetical order of the last names. So this is where we have all the A's, all the B's, C's, and so on. Now, recommended is basically Whova's way of filtering people with similarities to you. For example, because I put APCDA as the place I'm working at, Whova filters people who also puts APCDA as their working place or as their company. So I can see other people who's also affiliated in APCDA, and if I found interesting accounts, I can do bookmarks. So bookmark is, as its name, you're marking them and you can find them later on to make it easier for you to mark the people you wanted to connect with. If you're interested to know more about the person, you can click on View Profile. And then here I opened Alan's profile. You can see their full names, and if they're a speaker or if they're a presenter, you can see which sessions will they be speaking on. There's a biography, interests, affiliations, and so on. This means that the more you complete your profile, then more people could be affiliated with you, the more Whova can filter you for other people. So you will end up in the recommended tab of other people, of more people, if your profile is more complete. That's why we encourage you to put as many information as you can so that it helps your networking in the conference as well. Lastly, if you want to send them a chat, you can also click on Say Hi, and you can also personalize this message. And if you click this, then that message will be sent as a private message to the person you're sending it to. The next tab is bookmark. So whenever you bookmark someone, they will end up in this tab. This is going to make it easier for you to filter those you find wanted to connect further with. And lastly, categories. So you can also filter people based on their categories. For example, because this is a hybrid conference, we have remote attendees and we have in-person attendees. So if you're coming in person and you want to explore who else is coming in person and who else will I be meeting in Zhengzhou, you can click here and find that out. Or if you have difficulties or face technical issues and you wanted to reach out to organizers, you can also click here to see who are the organizers of the event and who can I reach to when I face these issues. Networking can also be done in community. The community is a more public space. As you can see, when I clicked on it, the first thing that pops up is an icebreaker. If you want to introduce yourself to others, you can answer an icebreaking question. You can pick what question you want to answer and post it so that other people can also react to it. Now, community is filled with many discussion topics. So the difference between this and a message is these are all public, so everyone can see what's happening in the group or in the discussion topics. There are some here that you might find very helpful. For example, organizer announcements. So whenever we wanted to share information to you about the conference, you can check it here. Then there's also the icebreaking, which we see earlier, local recommendations, and we really invite all the local attendees. If you're from China, or specifically if you're from Zhengzhou, you can give local tips to international attendees so that they can know what should I explore here, is there any interesting cuisines to try, and so on. We also would encourage you to share your photos during the events and share your moments. And yeah, you can basically scroll around and see if there's any discussion that's interesting to you. Or if you don't find any and you wanted to create your own discussion group, you can do that by clicking on this button that says Add New Topic. And all you need to do is enter the title and add a question or a description to the group. And anyone else who finds your group interesting will come by and send you a text or join in your discussion. The message is quite straightforward. It allows you to send private messages to people. For example, if I wanted to send a text to Marilyn, all I need to do is find her name here and type in what I want to say. Once I'm done, I only need to click send, and she will receive it in her account. In this year's conference, we also have contests, which you can join to get prizes from APCDA. This contest here can be accessed in Win a Prize. So there are two types of contests. The first one is leaderboard, and there's also a fun fact contest, which Whova calls it photo contest. So leaderboard is actually a scoreboard which keeps track on your scores whenever you do something inside Whova. For example, when you send a message to someone, when you add a discussion group or a discussion topic in community, or if you like a session, if you add a specific session to your agenda, and so on. So the more active you are in Whova, the more points you get, and leaderboard is basically ranking you based on those scores. So if you want to win this contest, you need to be as active as you can in the conference and in using Whova. The second one is fun fact contest, or Whova calls it photo contest. You can click it here, or you can also click on the button above, which is photos. It will lead you to the same place. If you wanted to share a photo, you can click on the button share photo, and you can either pick a photo that you have in your local folder. You can also drag and drop, take a selfie right there, right then, or you can paste it as well. So there's a lot of methods on how to upload a photo. And don't forget to add an interesting caption or interesting comment to your photo so that people would be more likely to like and to comment on your post. So basically, for the fun fact contest, we are rating you based on the number of likes you get and if people are engaged or if people are adding comments to what you share. Other things you can do here is to see the resources. So in the resources feature, you can see the sessions Q&A. So if you're interested to know what are the questions being raised in people's sessions, you can view it here. Same goes with surveys. And we also have an overall conference survey, which we hope you'd be participating in at the end of the conference. This will help us know your feedback to the overall event and help us do better for upcoming conferences as well. There's also the Whova guides, which is written instructions that Whova provide for you, and you can click or explore based on your role. For example, if you're a speaker, you can click on the speaker guide, or if you're a sponsor, you can also click on the sponsor guide, and so on. The last menu we're going to explore is My Stuff. So this is filled with personalized contents for you. Now, this is quite special. If you are a speaker or a presenter in this conference, you will get a speaker hub in which you can find details to the sessions that you will be presenting in. Next is My Agenda. This is where you will find sessions that you add to your personal agenda. Your notes, if you decided to take notes in some sessions, they will all be compiled here. So you don't need to open the sessions one by one to see your notes. You can see everything in My Stuff. Lastly is Profile. This is the same with the previous ones we saw. This is where you can edit your profile and etc. Okay, so I guess that wraps up the tour. If there's any questions you have in detail about how to use specific features or how to make the best use of Whova in the conference, please don't hesitate to reach us via email or send us a question or post your questions in Ask Organizers Anything in Whova. We look forward to seeing you in the 2025 APCDA Hybrid Conference, either it be virtually from Whova or in person in Senzo. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.